From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
All right, here's your checklist of things that need to be working right in your home. And if they're not, you should call the guys at Taylor Heat and Plumbing. Taylor 500 help. You got your water heater. Is it working right? Check, right? If you don't, Bradford White water heaters with Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Furnace, check. Air conditioner, check. It's like 80 degrees today in Rochester. You got to love that. Your plumbing, check. All good. Fantastic. If not, if you got some issues, if you want them to come out and before summer rolls around and we get those high temperatures, you want them to check your AC unit. Of course, Taylor is always ready for you. Taylor Heating and Plumbing, tailor-made service, customized to fit your needs. Air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, comprehensive maintenance plans. They do insulation if your house is drafty and you don't want to stress the repairs, right? Taylor is great because they have financing plans that will fit your budget. And they're hiring opportunities, HVAC techs, plumbers, project managers, office personnel. It's Taylor Heating and Plumbing, Taylor 500 help. Precision Lawn and Garden, mow your lawn. Right? Because it's growing like crazy. Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue and Webster. They have everything you need to mow your lawn and make it the envy of the neighborhood. They've got push mowers. They've got zero turn mowers. They've got those big daddy mowers that you can put your beer in the side. It's got like a cup holder for crying out loud. It's fantastic. Precision Lawn and Garden, North Avenue and Webster has been servicing surrounding Rochester areas with professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. So they know a thing or two about a thing or two there at Precision Lawn and Garden. Express Sealer 645-2010. You want your driveway sealed. If your lawn looks good because of Precision Lawn and Garden, then you want your driveway to look good as well. Call Brian, Express Sealer 645-2010 on the east side only, 645-2010. Please support our advertisers at the We the People Podcast Network. They support us, make this whole podcast thingaroo that we're doing possible. We appreciate them and we appreciate all of our patriots.
Mow your lawn.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned about the big daddy mower comment.
Yeah.
I didn't know mowers had gender now.
She's not talking about you, Chad.
Oh, my bad.
My mowers are all male.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in sunny, beautiful 77-degree Irondequoit, New York.
Hello.
The question is, are you morally wrong or just flat out stupid? Here they are. It's Kimberly and Chad.
Yes, hi. And just Tom, of course. It is Kimberly's Revolution. We are so glad you are here, all of our patriots and the We the People Podcast Network. That is the name of our show today. Morally wrong and flat out stupid.
Wait, do we have to pick one? Do I have to be morally wrong or you have to be flat out stupid? Or how does this work?
Let's have a guess. Who in this room is morally wrong and who is flat out stupid? Huh?
All right,
Come on, let's play the game.
We better not play that game.
Let's play a game.
We should play that as the show's ending, not as the show's starting.
I, of course, am Kimberly from Kimberly's Revolution. That's not too hard to figure out. Chad Hummel is sitting across from me. He is the broker. He is the lawyer for Revere Realty. He is also the tax opposer. They are way busy, right? How busy are you? How busy are you?
Way busy.
Thank you, Penfield Assessor.
Oh, boy. Making you way busy, right? For taxes. So if you have an issue with your property tax, of course, you want to get a hold of us here at the Tax Opposer.
That's correct.
Because you can...
TheTaxOpposer.com. You can go to our website and check it out.
You can get those taxes lowered, right?
Absolutely.
You go in and you fight for the people.
That's right. For the little man.
Power to the people.
Yep.
Right.
You can't. Our motto is at the
to the people.
At the Tax Opposer, our motto is you can fight City Hall.
Yes, you can. And you have done it. And you have won.
I do it all the time.
You do it all the time.
Wait, you have a motto?
I have a creed. I am morally. What was the name of the show again?
You are morally wrong and flat out stupid.
I'm morally bankrupt. What?
And then, of course, we have Just Tom. And again, we're not pointing fingers at who is who on the show. Morally wrong and flat out stupid. And then we have, of course, Austin, our producer, who is none of those things. He's the smartest one in the room. He makes sure that the show runs
Wait, let me ask
flawlessly.
Let me ask him a question. Keep that picture up, Austin.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you morally wrong and flat out stupid?
I'm not.
You just
I'm
answered.
Not stupid.
He's got this. And of course,
yeah.
If you want to start your own podcast, and who doesn't want to start their own podcast, you can talk about all kinds of things. You can have a bunch of friends come in. You can talk about beer. You can talk about work, if you have like a thing for crime, true crime stories, you can do a podcast. Call our buddy Fitz at Rockvox Productions because he made all of this possible, came in, set up everything for us. Or if you don't want to even deal with that, you just want to go in somewhere and sit down and have someone turn on the mics for you, like I did for like 30 years of my career.
Just scream into a camera.
And just do that. Fitz at Rockvox Productions. That's ROCVOX Productions. He's in Bushnell's Basin, and he is the best. Morally wrong and flat out stupid. Of course, we are under the umbrella of Revere Realty. We sell and help you buy homes here, or at least a couple of us do, and a couple of us appraise houses. I want to show you a house that you can probably get right now for really cheap. And it's who doesn't love the Outer Banks,
Is that the
right?
one falling off the cliff again?
Have you ever been to, I don't
No,
like the Outer Banks.
I've never been there.
This is a climate change
I'm
issue.
not, no. Oh yeah, sure it is. I'm not a fan of the Outer
We
Banks.
do the Myrtle Beach thing every year.
which is down farther
Yep, a little
than
further
the
down.
Outer Banks.
Couple hours, yep.
I have been to the Outer Banks twice, and I find the waters really rough.
Mhm.
And a lot of times they have those red flags out that say that's like the current is too dangerous,
Riptide.
riptide, whatever.
So is this Greta's house here we're going to see?
So this is Rodanth, and I don't know what's going on, but I bet you could buy this at a great price. Let's watch this.
Yeah.
It's so beachfront. It's so beachfront. It's in the water.
Nice.
That's how beachfront it is, right? You're looking for a great property right on the beach. You got this floating in the ocean,
It's
man.
a beach boat.
Yeah. You can't be. Come on. Who doesn't love that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're going to. The problem
Well, if
is,
you can't afford a beach house and a boat, then you just buy this. And you have both.
I'm telling you, I could probably call a realtor down there and get you a sweet, sweet ass deal right now today.
No down payment.
So they say that heavy surf from the Atlantic is what's causing this to happen. It's an unoccupied home. I would think so.
Well, that's good.
In Rodanth, fell into the surf during the early morning hours, according to the officials with Cape Hatteras. Rodanth is where that movie was filmed. Remember, I think Richard Gere was in that, and Diane. Oh my goodness, what's her name? Diane
Lane.
Diane Lane.
Yes,
Yeah.
Diane Lane.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Diane
She's
Lane
hot.
she is hot. But remember that's
I'm glad you said it first. I mean, second.
that movie was, and I think it was
Is that the
called
one where-
Rodanth.
yeah,
Rodanth Nights, I think, was the name of the movie.
No, that's the one where he kills her lover with the snow globe, and then wraps him up in the carpet.
No,
That's Richard Gere and Diane Lane.
No,
Chad, I
it's-
think that was
no.
Tim Allen in Santa Claus 2.
No,
No, the movie
So-
where Richard Gere and Diane Lane are married.
Yeah.
And they have a little boy.
no.
And then she's downtown at the library and it starts raining and she drops her books and this cute French guy comes up and helps her.
Wrong
and then
movie.
they're banging each other.
Wrong movie.
Chad,
Well, how many movies did
I
Richard Gere and
don't
Diane
know.
Lane do
Wrong
together?
movie.
Chad,
This is
that's straight
Rodanth.
up porn.
Anyway,
Did Richard Gere have sex with her in that movie too?
I don't have any idea.
All right.
But
sorry. Move on.
so this isn't I mean,
Unfaithful is
two
the movie
home-
I'm thinking
Unfaithful.
of. Unfaithful.
completely different movie.
All right. Sorry.
Not
My bad.
Not Knights of Rodanth or
All right.
whatever it
I'm
is.
morally bankrupt and stupid.
But you are. So in February, a home 4 houses down fell into the surf. But my point is, you can probably get a great deal. Beachfront. I'm telling you, you don't get any more beachfront.
Can I
than
ask
that,
a
right?
stupid question, Kimberlina?
Yeah.
Why didn't they move the house first? Couldn't they just moved it?
How much does that cost?
Could you ask a smart question?
It didn't look like it had a foundation.
that
Couldn't they
house-
just take a trailer and put it on it? and
That
move
house
it?
was built in 1980, the one that you just saw there floating away.
They could have moved the house.
Is it a Ryan home?
I don't even know.
Sorry to my friends at NVR.
I would just say, I don't know what the bill is, but they're being billed by the officials with Cape Hatteras for that cleanup. Can you imagine all the nails in
And
the
the
wood
EPA.
that could hit you if you're out in the ocean?
I think the
don't
house is in a flood zone.
Who,
know.
who knew to film it? That's what I want to know.
I wonder what the flood insurance costs.
It went up a little bit.
I'm going to tell you that the flood insurance is probably the same as property taxes that we pay here in the state of
Oh
New
my
York,
God.
which are, as you know, as you very well know, because
Yeah.
you're an expert, they are exorbitant, aren't they?
Mhm, they sure are.
I want to show you, it might be a nice time to get in the ocean if you're anywhere in the Midwest. We're not experiencing the kind of heat that they are in the Midwest, but I'm not real good with heat anymore. Now that I've been here since
You can't take the heat, Kimberlina.
since 2001.
That's not.
I
That's not
can't take the heat.
That's not menopausal or
I mean,
anything like that.
Oh yeah, I'm hugely menopausal. Yeah. I'm a joy to live with. But at least
Sorry, Rich.
At least I can admit it.
Well, that explains the 5 months.
What?
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, I get to it. No, but so it's so. I mean,
It's hot in here right now.
oh, I feel good right now. No hot flashes. I'm on medication. That's good. But I'm highly
Wait a
medicated.
minute. Wait a minute. You're on medication.
Oh, I'm highly medicated. But
Shocker.
so I see these and I'm like, no way. That's not happening. In Kansas City, it was 94 tomorrow. It's 98 today.
Wow, look at that.
It was 96 on Tuesday.
Climate change is real.
And
82 in St. Louis on Saturday.
so it's breaking all the records with this heat,
That's
which
what it
is
says, Chad.
absolutely crazy. Here it's like 80 and it's absolutely beautiful.
No, I think it's too warm right now.
It's absolutely
I like a nice cool spring.
beautiful.
Cool, crisp, sunny.
I'm tired
too
of the
warm
cool
right
and
now.
crisp. I'm ready to open my pool. I gotta get it going.
Yeah, got to get the
Gotta
pool open.
gotta get the pool open, right? Are you opening your pool yet?
No,
Yeah.
we're late bloomers when it comes to the pool. We're lazy.
All right.
We'll get it open by August.
Morally wrong and ethically stupid. Are we liking that Elon Musk is probably at some point in time in the very near future going to take over?
He's going to be broke
Twitter.
sooner or
Twitter?
later as Tesla's stock collapses.
Oh, everything's
Yeah.
collapsing.
Yeah, the tech market's dead.
Morally wrong and flat out stupid. He's at some kind of a forum. I'm not exactly sure where he is. It's some kind of I don't know. They're asking him questions and he's somewhere and they asked him about Trump. Once you buy Twitter and he
Lifting
says,
the
listen,
ban.
I don't even have it yet. You're way jumping ahead of the game. But he basically he's at a Financial Times conference. And the guy that is answering and asking the questions is very British. Hello. What is Elon Musk? Is he British as well?
He's South African.
Oh, he's South African. Okay, because he's got that little
Thank you,
accent.
Tom.
See, look how you have.
Well, that's why he calls himself an African American.
Does he really?
He does.
Yes.
I've never heard him
That's
say
awesome.
that. That is awesome. All right, so here is Elon Musk answering the same question for like the 4th time that this guy asked it.
And this is the point that I'm trying to make, which is perhaps not getting across, is that
Dumbass.
banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the right. And this is why it is morally wrong and flat out stupid.
There you go.
Did you get it that time?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well,
I
Trump
mean,
has already
he
said.
was tired of answering the question, and so he goes, "Okay." In Elon Musk's own little way, he just called that guy
A jackass.
an idiot. And the guy didn't know what. Can you play that again? I love it. He's like, "Okay, let me say this again," but he didn't say that.
And this is the point that I'm trying to make, which is perhaps not getting across.
Because you're an idiot.
Is that banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the right. And this is why it is morally wrong and flat out stupid.
Trump has already
Look
said
at the
that.
guy.
Okay,
He's
thank
like,
you.
"Okay."
Trump doesn't know what to say.
Oh, okay.
Trump has already said he's not coming back. to
No,
Twitter.
because he's got his own.
Yeah.
He's got his own thing. Whatever.
Truth.
Truth Social, I think, is the
Yeah.
name of. But I heard that, and I'm like, oh my god, that's freaking. If I were still on the radio, and all of the patriots listening right now and watching would know, we would take morally wrong and flat out stupid, and we would play the shiatsu
Over
out
and
of that.
over. We got to get it on
over
our little board.
And over.
Gotta
and
get a button.
over.
We got to get a button
Gotta
for
get
it.
a button for it, kind of like I have. Oh, I don't know.
Hey, there's panic at the pump. It's already started.
No, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
See,
That's
What did I
back.
push?
You don't
About
even-
gas prices.
You don't even know how to use your buttons.
We can get rid of the mayor.
I don't know what I pushed.
Good cracker. Good cracker. There you go.
Oh, I don't know what I pushed, but anyway,
Come on, Kimberly. Learn how to run the board.
I know I should learn. But anyway, I thought that was that was interesting.
Do you guys belong to Truth Social?
I do not.
The We the People
you?
podcast network does.
Oh,
haven't.
then of course we
I
do.
haven't signed up for it.
You know what else?
It makes no sense to me at this point
Truth
because
Social.
Because
why-
everybody agrees with themselves.
it's an echo chamber. What's the point?
You
I mean,
just
you're
like to fight with everybody.
There's no dissension.
Yeah,
right?
you're not going there. You're not going to sway anyone because everyone you're talking to already agrees with you. So
Well, you're not going to sway anyone on
No,
Twitter either.
I
mean,
get
let's
it.
be clear.
that's my point.
I mean, I was called racist twice today on Twitter because of
because you're
my
white.
view on abortion,
'Cause you have a
I'm
job.
and I'm pro-choice. And
'Cause
I'm
you're
called.
Republican?
I'm a racist because I thought that lady
daughter's a
yesterday.
police officer?
Yes, I'm all those things. But yeah, no, seriously, I was called a
Did
racist.
I mention that you have a job?
I'm racist because I have a job.
Did I mention that because you make your own money and you're independent?
I'm racist? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have no other
So
argument.
Truth Social makes no sense.
So when I was calling the lady yesterday, fucked up beyond all recognition, she was foobarred.
She was foobarred.
You heard that little snippet of the lady talking about if the leaker to the abortion,
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? I saw that.
right?
That is absolutely insane.
So I posted that and said, this lady, whatever your views are, is sick and wrong.
Beyond sick and wrong.
And someone said,
She's a
yeah, it's not
comedian.
as bad as being a racist. Okay,
Wow.
there you go. There we go. Okay, let's just. And I said, yeah, it kind of is worse than
Well, you
being
know
a
what?
racist.
Number one, it is.
Killing a baby for spite is kind of worse than
Yeah.
being a racist. I got to tell you.
Yeah, it's objectively worse, right?
Yeah,
for
of course.
one.
Of
And for
course.
two, nobody can prove. I've always said this. You can't really prove somebody's a racist because it's a feeling that you would have within your heart and so
Right.
on and so forth. Now you could act it out, but for her to say that, I mean, it just goes to show how weak-minded people are.
I know, and
They have
lazy,
nothing.
lazy,
Yeah.
and lazy.
I always
and
say
weak-minded.
intellectually dishonest is what that is.
You've got nothing else to go for, so we go
You're
for
racist.
the easy picket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Well,
racist.
it was a part Republican baby, Chad. So that justifies it.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
But if you didn't hear that little snippet, you can go back to yesterday's show and hear that. Morally wrong and flat out stupid would also probably define, in a nutshell, the
Me.
Rochester City School District.
Oh my God.
And
Hello.
I know, hello.
And now the
Bonkers.
news.
And now here's Chad.
Bonkers.
And now the news.
And now, so the Rochester,
You want me just to jump right in with the statistics?
but here's what I want to say first. The Rochester School District is going through now what they're calling the Great Resignation, and they don't know why.
They don't know why everyone's quitting, huh?
I know why, but
Yeah.
I'll let you get to your thing, and then I'll tell you why everyone's quitting the Rochester City School District.
I'm just going to do this very matter of fact, and maybe I'll get a little animated at times.
Okay.
But so everyone probably just recently heard the budget that just came out,
Right.
right?
What the
$1 trillion.
So on the screen right now, this is some correspondence that came out of the Rochester City School District, but it's all
which
pub-
operates so well, by the way.
Oh, of course
Oh,
it
it's a
does. So
smooth
everything
operating.
is streamlined.
Yes.
So embedded in that email, you could see that the proposed budget, well, it's not proposed anymore. It was actually passed. It was ratified by the board, I believe, last night, the school board. I just got to look in here. What is that? 983
$1 trillion.
Million.
983.
Yeah. What comes after that?
983 million.
Yeah.
Right?
What trillion is next, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
billion.
billion.
Billions.
Billion first.
Billion.
Jesus.
900
what's wrong with them?
1 godzillion Google
All right, be quiet. So-
983 million.
$983 million.
Mhm.
Okay. But now you really got to hone in on the numbers. You got to break this down. There are, depending upon where you check, I'm just going to use a rough number. It seems to be a fair representation. 26,000 students. Okay. That is from 2019. That's from a New York State Department of Education website.
Okay.
In 2019, there was 25,000 students. Now I've seen upwards of 26 or 27. So I'm just going to go with 26.
Okay.
So $980 million divided by 26,000 students equals
Carry
approximately
the one.
$38,000 per year. Now, in order
Per
to do that
student?
math,
Per
student,
Okay.
38,000 per student.
Holy
Now, of
shit
course,
balls.
I wasn't able to do that math in my head, so I got this calculator out, right?
Does
but
it
guess
say
what?
does it say boobless, Chad?
Huh? But guess what? I got this calculator out. I couldn't put enough numbers in to get to 98 million. The calculator
983 million
983 million. The calculator wouldn't even
go up to
wouldn't even go up that
983
high.
million?
So I don't know. The people at the Rochester City School District obviously have iPhones. So where's my iPhone? So I had to get the iPhone out.
Okay.
I got the iPhone out.
Got
to
the
do
iPhone.
math.
You can do the extra zeros.
Yeah,
on
you
the
can do
iPhone.
the extra zeros on the iPhone because the regular standard calculator won't even do this kind of math.
When in doubt, just add zeros.
That's
I
right.
say.
Yeah. So now you take a typical class size in the Rochester City School District of around 20 students. $38,000 per student times 20 students equals $750,000 per class. Imagine that.
That is some kind of education.
That's a
they're
lot
getting
more
there.
in jazzercise.
Imagine this. Imagine the Rochester City School District chief financial officer walks around on September 1st every year and delivers a check to each teacher for $750,000. You mean to tell me that after that teacher pays themselves, I don't know, even $100,000, they can't run their own classroom for less than $650,000 a year?
How come they're
Where's
always
all this
doing
money
these,
going?
She would
What-
have to drive around in her van and pick up all the
If
kids.
each class is getting that, how come they always ask every summer, every July, hey, the teachers don't have enough money for the crayons and the
Exactly.
markers and the
Hold on.
glue, and then they want the community to come together.
Now, people think that's rhetoric, right? People actually think that when that's thrown out there that, oh, the teachers they're not really short on pencils. Oh, no. I talked to a Rochester City School District teacher today.
Yeah.
And I got some even further broken down hard numbers for one school in particular. So one school in particular has approximately,
Which school?
It's in the city. It's an
Okay.
elementary school.
47.
Elementary school in the city school district,
Okay.
right? There are approximately 280 students in this school.
Okay.
So now you take that $38,000 per student at 280 students. That school district gets a check, theoretically,
That's
gets a check for $12,350,000 on September 1st, right? The chief financial officer, the superintendent, drives over to this school, hands them their check for $12,350,000, right? Because we all
Wow.
know that they're actually spending all the money on the education, right?
Sure.
They're not stealing it.
That's-
They're not kicking it back to anybody. It's not getting lost down some rabbit hole somewhere, right? Like a few years ago when they lost $30 million and they never could find it. Remember all that?
But they put that they were in that they were all evened up, right? Is it in the black or in the red? They were in the black.
Yeah.
Yeah, they remember that. And then Asini called our show and said, I
That's
looked at
right.
the numbers, and he was the one that broke that story about the Rochester
remember
City
that.
School District on our show.
They lost 30 million somehow.
Yeah.
So this particular school gets $12,350,000 a year. Now, let's just and there's approximately 20 teachers in that school teaching that in that school.
Okay.
So if there's
In
20
that elementary
in that
school.
elementary school. So if there's 20 teachers and we assign 2 administrators to that building and 3 or 4 other staff members. So let's just call it 25 staff members. Even if all 25 staff members were given $100,000 on the nose salary for the year, which let's face it,
They're not.
I'm sure 4/5 of them aren't getting paid that much.
No, they're not.
I'm sure the teacher with 29 years and the administrators are north of 6 figures, or they're at 6 figures. But if all 25 staff members were to get a salary of $100,000, there would still be, ready for this?
Okay.
There would still be $9.9 million left over to run this particular school. You're telling me that a Rochester City School District building cannot be run on $9.9 million or less? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Think about that.
I know that's a crazy amount of money.
So the point is, they're not. You know that this particular school, if they were getting all $38,000 per student, all $12 million, almost $12.5 million, and the teachers aren't making that $100,000 a year, where is that $10 million being spent? This particular teacher that I spoke to said they don't have paper towel in the bathrooms because they don't have a custodian in the school. Because remember, with the bus drivers and the custodians last year, they all left. Nobody came back. There are no custodians in the school. They don't have pencils.
Who cleans up the school?
The teachers are obligated to. The teachers in the classrooms buy the supplies for the classroom. They buy the pencils. They buy the extra stuff that their children need to actually function on a day-to-day basis.
Because the parents aren't doing it.
Of course not.
Right.
So $10 million.
Of course.
But the teachers have to dip into their own pockets and buy the supplies. True story.
I smell an audit.
Could you imagine?
How are they giving?
I think I know what's causing the problem. Chicken nuggets. They're
Oh, I don't
freaking
need-
expensive.
You don't want to see what the school lunch is. So where is the money going? If they're getting
It has to be
$983
stolen.
million, the Rochester City School District, who has shown in the past that they are not worthy and obviously morally apt to deal with this kind of money, where's it going?
Yeah. Let me put one final thing into perspective. Austin,
Just one.
have you guys ever heard of a school by the name of Harley Allendale?
Yes.
All right. What is Harley Allendale?
It's a private
to you?
school, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a pretty pricey.
it's considered the most prestigious private school in this region.
Yeah, it's pretty
right?
pricey. Yeah.
It's over there on Allens Creek Road. I mean, it's
Yeah.
as pricey as it gets. It's where all the big money doctors send their kids, so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
very hobnobby with the rich and famous.
This is, I pulled this up today, right off the internet. All right. If we can believe the internet, the average annual tuition, K through 12, ranges from $15,000 to $26,000.
Depending on what year you are.
Now remember, Rochester City School District is
It's
spending $38,000,
per student.
and their graduation rate is what? Their college
Blutarski.
Awful.
0.0.
0.
You can go to Harley freaking Allendale for $15,000 a year.
So why don't they just pay the parents the money and
That's
then
what I
have
thought.
them go to their own
Oh,
school?
Excellent
Lord.
point.
Oh, Lord.
Well, because then they wouldn't be able to steal the money. Could you imagine these?
Well, one, because the parent, don't get me started on what the parents would do.
I hear you.
Not all parents in the city
Well,
school district
but that's
would,
what we
would
should do.
wrong things
This
with
is
the
the
money.
whole basis of charter schools.
But
right?
listen, you wouldn't be able to keep the flat screens honestly, you wouldn't be able to buy one in the city because they'd all be sold out.
But you talk about affirmative action. You talk about reparations. You talk about all those things. Okay, all of these asshat social justice warriors, right? That run around, that sit on these school boards and run these school districts, right? And they all get up on their soapboxes and they preach
And their high horse.
progressivism,
Yes.
and they preach about the kids, and
It's
they
all
preach
about
about
the children.
the racism, and it's all about the kids
It's
and
all
all that.
about the money.
Give them the damn money then. Send a check to every single family in the Rochester City School District. Send them all a check for $38,000 at the beginning of the year and let them have at it. They can either send their kids to school somewhere else with the money, or they can waste the money and come back and get more next year. Just give them the damn check.
Yeah.
Because at least then I'll know that some lying sack of shit liberal Democrat progressive on the Rochester City School Board isn't stealing the money.
I
right?
hear you. I
Because
hear
that's
you.
what's going on.
Absolutely.
They have to be. Somebody is literally stealing this money because they're not spending it in the schools. They're just not.
Well, wasn't there a big lawsuit about how the school district had hired out a company to do work within the school district, and none of that money was
Jason.
being used for, right?
Jason says, I'll teach 2 kids for 76. Exactly.
I love it.
Start taking bids. You can run these schools for less than $10 million a year.
I mean, when you think about it, it does make you sick
It really does.
because you know the money is not being spent the way it should be spent, especially when teachers don't have custodians in the schools. They don't have pencils. What else do they not have in the classrooms
They don't-
that all this money should be paying
They don't
for?
have Kleenex. I was told. They don't have Kleenex. They don't have boxes of Kleenex. If they want to wipe their nose, they got to get one of those rough,
I'm sure they
brown
got
pieces
I'm sure
of paper
they got
towel.
plastic
So-
shields and masks.
So are you telling? Are you
Exactly.
saying that $983 million that the Rochester City School District will receive as their board approves that budget, that pencils and Kleenex aren't figured into that?
Oh, no. See, here's the thing, right? You just identified something. It's absolutely figured in.
But
But
they
then
never
that's where
get it.
that's where the money gets stolen.
But they
you have
never
to,
get it.
Exactly. You have
Follow
to
the
figure
money.
everything in to get it to the 983. You have to figure it in and then multiply times 12, right? To get
Yeah.
to 983.
Yeah.
And then in comes the theft. In the corporate and the quote unquote corporate partnerships, right? Like Comida and all that shit that went on years ago
Yeah.
with the GOP and Maggie
Right.
Crooks and her husband and all that type of stuff,
Right.
right? So all these off-book companies that they create and liabilities, all of these off-book liabilities that they create. I mean, they just do all sorts of. We can bring Mary Belding back in and talk about it, right?
She knows.
This is public corruption to the max. right on full display. Rochester City School District, one of the worst performing public school districts in the entire country.
But getting
statistically
the most
speaking,
money of any school district.
38,000 per student.
I don't know how much Greece gets, but it's the largest school district. Is their budget anywhere near 983 million?
I don't know.
I can't imagine that it would
It's all
be.
relative, right? It really comes down to how much is it per student. I did one other district calculation today just to put it into some perspective.
Yeah.
Of course, I picked my own in East Irondequoit. The East Irondequoit Central School District proposed budget that'll be voted on May 17th, and everyone should vote no, of course, is 98 million. Divided by 3,100 students, it comes out to around 32,000 per student. So it's as long as we keep up with the Joneses, it all looks copacetic. But I've been following the East Irondequoit School District budget for 15 years now. 15 years ago, the East Irondequoit Central School District budget was $44 million. Declining enrollment, that was 3,300 students. We're down 200 students 15 years later, and the budget is more than doubled.
You're right.
We went from around 14, 15, 16,000 per student
Inflation.
to 31, 32,000. Now, my kids have been in the district all that time. So when my daughter was in first grade and her education was 14, 15,000 a year, and now it's 31, 32,000 a year, and I'm paying the bill, what is she getting for that?
That's
nothing.
different.
You know what she's getting? She had a track meet the other night. And the high jump at East Irondequoit, we have this big fancy stadium, so on and so forth. The high jump pole was broken. The coach who was trying to run the meet, it was against Honey Falls Lima. You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. The coach is out there with his own tools fixing the high jump right before the meet. My daughter overheard two Honey Falls Lima girls that she was doing the high jump with, joking around with each other. These are high school girls. The one girl said to the other girl, is anyone listening right now? She said,
probably not.
If I ever become rich, I'm going to donate money to this school.
Ha!
We have a $98 million budget, Mary Grow, East Irondequoit superintendent, and we have a broken high jump.
You know what the answer is, Chad? Duct tape.
Duct tape. That's fine. I'm fine with duct tape. Let's just be clear. But give me my goddamn money back so I can buy the duct tape and fix it myself. Why am I giving you $31,000 times I have 4 kids?
That's just sad when you have girls coming from Honey Falls.
Falls.
Sounds like you're getting a bargain, Chad.
That are feeling bad about the state of affairs at East Irondequoit.
Yeah.
That's just embarrassing.
So again, it's the
That's
same
embarrassing.
thing. They're stealing the money.
Yeah.
The money is getting wasted.
It's misappropriated.
Wasted.
It's being spent.
It's all
criminally.
going to security.
They're all crooks.
They really are.
And then you wonder and you have teachers in the Rochester
Striker
City.
1B just said they're all crooks.
They're all crooks. Rochester City School District teachers take a look at this budget and go, why am I buying all this stuff that's coming out of my paycheck? And they have zero support from the school district and the school board. Teachers have zero support. They're not protected. They're not safe. I mean, we talked, what was it, a month ago?
They're getting assaulted all the time.
A month ago, a teacher's hair was lit on fire by a student. True. That was a true. So we talked about it. And we're like, you never heard anything about it.
They have to get nicer fire extinguishers.
That
for
is
38,000.
assault, right? Felonious assault, I would think.
Potentially attempted murder, right?
Set the teacher, maybe it was a principal. It doesn't really matter. Another human being.
Well, we don't care if they set the principals on fire. Those are administrators.
You set them on fire. But you never hear anything about it. The teachers aren't safe. They're not supported. They can't, I mean, and
what does the union say to this with the
you can't understand.
Well, that's
anything
part
he's
of
saying.
it, right? That's part of it.
I mean, they're in bed with it, right?
Exactly. That's part of the corruption.
So they're saying
he's whining and dining
that
himself.
The Rochester City School District, great resignation because they can't find teachers now to teach. And I wonder why. Why in the world would that be? Well, Urbanski says it's the COVID, and we can't, whatever his accent. I don't even know. So trying to listen is very difficult.
Dzień dobry, Mr. Urbanski.
Is he Polish? I don't
believe so.
So, and nice man, but he's blaming it on COVID.
Yeah, he's full of
we
shit.
know it's not COVID. Here is why there is a great resignation, because one, teachers take a look at this amount of money, see how it's being spent, and want to puke.
Yeah.
They absolutely, and this goes on all across the country in democratic cities where you have idiots running the school board, right? You see it everywhere. It's not just here in Rochester, it's everywhere. One, the parents, used to be you could call a parent and whatever the teacher said, your ass was in trouble if that teacher didn't have
Hell
good
yeah.
things to say. So the parents aren't on the teacher's side. The parents will.
They threaten the parents.
They
literally, they threaten to show up at the end of the day and meet them outside.
right.
And then when the teachers report that to administration, oh my God, the administration can't cover up their ears fast enough.
Right. They don't
and
want to hear
ask, please don't put that in writing.
Yeah. Don't wanna
send
hear
me
it.
an email.
So the teachers aren't
No
supported.
record of this.
They have no parent support. Little Johnny can say, fuck you. I don't have to do what you say, Mrs. So-and-so. And the parents are like, well, I mean, little Johnny doesn't want to do it. So little Johnny doesn't do it. I mean, so you have that. There's no, safety. There's no.
Shanae can do the same thing.
They're tired of the nonsense.
How
And
many millions are going to fired former superintendents that are still getting paid with severances?
Great point.
I know one that's getting paid very, very well.
They
Very well.
always,
Millions.
They take the golden parachute all the time. They resign.
Why not?
They negotiate their medical for multiple years.
And the current superintendent, Leslie Myers
Smalls,
Small, who was out at
blah, blah, blah.
Brockport as
Yeah.
the president of Brockport, whatever happened to the sexual assault lawsuit that was lodged against her? Do we know?
Rug, broom,
Right?
right?
You don't hear anything more about
Rug
the
and broom.
sexual assault charges that were lodged against Leslie Myers Small or whatever her name
Yep.
is. Yeah,
But if she was a male conservative, oh my God, are you kidding me?
right.
That would be
So
They
No.
have
So
those
you-
in the school district?
no. Just to be clear, good
so
point.
they're not paying as many teachers because there are not that many teachers that are working anymore.
Mhm.
And that question I think was asked by one of the news channels, and Adam Urbanski says, well, yeah, I wouldn't call it the great resignation.
Wait, the
of
news
teachers.
channels actually asked a question.
One of them, I think it was maybe 8. I'm not sure. But one
Interesting.
of the reporters asked the question, why so
they must have
many,
been bored.
why there are not so many, there are not any teachers. And I think one of the school board members said, half of the teachers we have are horrible to begin with.
Oh, they are.
So you have a board that doesn't support you, a board that thinks you're an idiot. Why go to work at the Rochester City School District? Because you're not getting any of that $983 million.
Because you're trying to save the world.
I don't know.
You're trying to do good in the world.
Maybe
More-
every day when the teachers leave, they hand them a brick of cash.
Like a
And-
drug dealer?
And we just don't know. It's like, here's your brick of
I mean,
cash.
Gotta
That's
start
the
checking my
case.
wife's purse when she gets home.
If that's the case, I better get my
Yeah. Who knows?
Better get your teacher
better
certificate.
get my teacher certificate in the state of New York. Absolutely. My dad
you can
wanted
get your hair lit on fire.
I can't wait for that. And that sounds just like a
Well,
good
you
time.
did want a new hairdo.
I so did. Morally wrong and flat out stupid. I think that encompasses
It really does.
the Rochester City School District
They get
in a
to
nutshell.
yeah, they get both labels for sure.
Yeah.
You and I can fight over which one gets which.
What
but
did hey Austin, what did he say about the Rochester City School District?
Sorry, what?
What did
Wake up, Austin.
what did Elon say about the Rochester City School District?
And this is the point that I'm trying to make, which is perhaps not getting across, is that banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the right. And this is why it is morally wrong and flat out stupid.
Yeah.
Do you think he colors
Exactly.
his hair? It looks
Exactly.
like he colors his hair.
Here's the other reason.
no,
why-
honestly, the best part of that video is that pause
I know at the end
where that jackass is like,
didn't know what to say.
"Oh shit."
Yeah, you just called me flat out stupid. The other reason that teachers are resigning is because they don't want to have to deal with, kids who are identifying as a he, she, they, our, whatever it is.
Cat.
Furries.
Are they identifying as a cat? Do they want a litter box in the fucking classroom? I mean, these are all things that are happening in the classroom. And another reason teachers are resigning is because they don't want to teach this ridiculous critical race theory nonsense that has basically ripped apart schools.
White people bad.
They don't want to teach this stuff.
No,
so
they don't.
therefore, they are resigning. They don't want to
want-
deal with the pronouns.
They want academic freedom.
They don't want to deal with these kids that are, and God bless them. A lot of these kids come from trauma, and they're not even equipped to deal with what some of these city school district kids are coming out of as they walk out of the house every morning and walking into school. There's no one there to help them cope at all. So there you are. The Great Resignation.
And then
It's not about COVID and teachers not wanting to come back because of COVID.
well,
It is multifaceted, and the reasons
Well,
they won't admit, and you'll never hear Urbanski say it.
I will say every time I look over when I'm driving around and I see somebody alone in their car with the windows rolled up and a KN95 mask on, there's probably a 50% chance that they're a teacher at the Rochester City School
You
District.
think so? Morally wrong.
That's to Urbanski's
and flat
defense.
out stupid. You're watching and listening to Kimberly's Revolution on the We the People podcast.
And for that,
network.
we thank you.
Yeah, we do. We love our sponsors. If you need an air conditioner, I mean, we got one put in here at.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we actually used it. 'Cause
Right.
It's kind of hot in here.
It
get
is
your
not hot in
glossy
here.
folder.
It's 66 degrees. It says
I'm
right
hot.
up there on
Look,
the
my
thing.
ears are red. It's from putting these stupid earmuffs on.
Because you're.
That's because you're German.
Because
you're
I'm all fired
because
up.
You're all riled up. Yeah,
I'm all riled
exactly.
up. Yeah.
Taylor Heating and Plumbing, of course, they put in our air conditioner here at our little building here on Titus,
They
where
did.
we reside.
In Irondequoit,
In Irondequoit.
a.k.a. Aranda Hood.
Precision Lawn and Garden, of course, and Express Sealers, where if you need your driveway sealed, you can do that. I don't know how people are driving around because gas prices went back up today. Morally wrong and flat out stupid. Gas prices are at an all-time high.
I'm going to start walking to work.
Inflation, it's $4.69 now at the gas station I go to. It jumped 20 cents in 5 days. Tell me why.
So I saw on Facebook today, somebody took a picture of their local corner gas station. I think it was it was somewhere on the west side.
Yeah.
Somewhere in your guys' neck of the woods, maybe in Spencerport. And they took a picture of the gas station sign at 7:30 in the morning, and it was 4:25. And then an hour later, it was 4.72.
What happened?
50 cents.
Why
Now,
did it jump 50
yeah.
cents
Yeah.
in a matter of, I mean, that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. So you have gas prices at an all-time high.
4.72.
You have inflation, the highest in 42 years now. Inflation is so bad. Everything.
Let's go,
The
Brandon.
Stock market plummeted. Food shortage. Baby formula. Baby formula. Tom and I talked about this yesterday.
Oh, that's all horse
what
shit.
in the hell?
The
is
baby
going
formula is
on?
in your breasts.
Dad,
Look, I don't want to hear
it's
anything
not
else.
Horseshit. It's baby formula.
End of story.
Baby formula.
End of story.
Unfortunately, for some of us that were unable to breastfeed.
That's
Wait,
a
All
woman-
wait, I was-
listen,
I
do you,
was
do you want to
unable
get into it?
Chad, that's a
we
woman's
have time?
choice.
I'm just going to tell you right
Do we
now.
have time? It's
I-
4:39.
I tried to breastfeed. Are
Look,
you going to
see?
tell?
My camera just got turned off.
As it
Choice.
should be. But the,
All right,
My
but-
body,
I'll
my
leave that. I'll
choice.
leave that alone for now. Then
So
I'll let you prepare your arguments for the next show.
baby formula shortage. Nowhere in this country should moms have trouble.
How much
getting
money?
Baby formula.
How much money did we give Ukraine? And we have a baby shortage.
We have a baby formula
Yeah.
shortage. We have record crime. We have record
Well,
murders.
we gave
have
all the
record.
formula to them.
We have record burglaries. We have
Exactly.
record overdoses. We have rampant homelessness. We have unbelievable censorship. Donald Trump was one of them.
Yeah.
We have
America first.
Wait, are you talking about
sucks.
Biden's presidency?
we have yes, I'm talking about more
38,000
morally wrong
dollars
and flat out
per
stupid.
student.
Yeah.
But we have no baby formula.
We have record, illegals crossing at the border, sky high national debt. We have basically unprecedented this draft, the leak of the draft from the Supreme Court that's never been heard of ever. We have all this going on right now, and half of the country is just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
we produced.
yeah, everything's go. Just call me they. As long as you're calling me they, we have no problem.
We had 3 major drug companies produce a vaccine for some batshit virus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In 18 months, but we don't have any baby formula.
Let me see. No baby formula. No baby formula, but 3 virus. Yeah.
You know what we
3
have? Buy more ammo. That's what you got, people.
U.S. gun homicides rose 35% in 2020, the highest level in 25 years. Why do you think?
Guns.
It's the
Why
guns.
do you think?
It's the guns' fault.
It's the gun's fault?
Yeah.
right.
It's the gun's fault.
Yeah, those the guns are getting better at pulling their own triggers.
That is amazing. That is, I never even knew
It has
that
nothing to do with bail reform.
until I saw the
Especially
headline.
those legal guns.
The headline in the
Exactly.
Democrat and Chronicle over the weekend. I think
yeah,
I
you
sent
sent
it to
that
you.
to me, and
And basically
ironically,
it said, that guns were responsible for.
yeah,
blah, blah,
guns
blah.
are responsible, is what it said.
Right.
About 2 hours before you sent me that text, I walked into 7-Eleven, my local 7-Eleven that I go to get my coffee. And I read that article and I just shook my head. And then 2 hours later, you sent that text and I shook my head again. And
I know. I
That-
want to reach the on. Okay, here it is.
they go out of their way
Here's the picture I sent to you.
to spin this.
On average day in U.S., guns kill 124 people. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Guns do.
Yeah, not Mexican drug cartel members that the Biden administration lets over the border every
No,
day,
not
kills.
them.
That's what the headline should say.
Right.
Or not the inner city kids that have been raised on Democrat failed social policies. It's not them killing each other, right? It's the guns.
Morally
Blame
wrong
the guns.
and flat out stupid.
Blame Remington.
Last night, up the street from my house, for the second time in 6 months,
You live in a gated community, correct?
a 72-year-old woman was carjacked at Grease Ridge Mall.
You live near Grease Ridge Mall?
I live down the road and around the corner. I live all the way down
I think
Long
that's
Pond.
Marketplace Mall.
I thought you lived near the Walmart on Dewey Avenue.
No, but there's nothing wrong with that. And if you'd like to sell or buy a house in that neighborhood, we, of course, here at Revere
Yeah.
Realty can help you. But no, so last night, again, at the Grease Ridge Mall, the second older lady was jumped in the mall parking
Right
lot
by Marshall's.
as she was exiting Marshall's. I tweeted this before.
I've parked in those spots
Anyone
many
else.
times.
So nobody else had the story this morning, but I will tell you that the 72-year-old woman was shoved to the ground by two guys who were casing the parking lot looking for a mark. They were casing the parking lot looking for an older woman to manhandle, steal her keys, jump in her car, and take off. And they did that,
Were they caught?
injuring her. They're not, to my knowledge, at this point in time.
Isn't that why they closed Irondequoit Mall?
More or less, yeah.
I'm just going to tell you.
I'm just waiting. I can't wait for, we hear about all these carjackings. I just can't wait for the story that comes out of the attempted carjack where the person has a firearm
and shoots a person,
and
well,
they
then you'd be
shoot him
racist
dead
and a
on the
murderer.
spot.
Nope.
Please do.
Oh, they'll call you a
Please do.
racist and a murderer.
Please do. Just shoot them right in their effing face. I can't wait. That's what needs to happen.
See,
That's when this will end.
Yeah, but
when
Chad,
more
you can't do
carjackings,
that in the state of New York. You'll go right to jail.
When
Florida or
more-
Texas, maybe Missouri and Kansas.
well,
maybe.
in Greece, this would have been the Greece police that would have been responding to the scene, and the fine deputies that work for the Greece Police Department. Of course, they would have recognized that that's a shooting or a homicide in
protecting
self-defense.
yourself, right?
So you do your investigation and you declare that it was self-defense, and you close the file and you move on to the next carjacking.
Here's what I'm saying: if you're carjacked,
buy more ammo.
and you are carrying, if you have a concealed carry permit, and I know a lot of our patriots do, I would advise you make sure you shoot them in the face, do not shoot them in the back of the head or the back.
So was
That
the
will
mall,
not go over well
was-
in a
was the
court
mo-
in New York State.
was the mall cop at the Cinnabon?
Hi. That would be my question: is where is mall security? You've already had one woman seriously injured walking out of Macy's. Now,
What's
6
the
months
mall
later,
security going to do? Shoot the guy with his
drives
walkie-talkie?
around. He drives around on nonstop.
I mean, I don't know,
They must have
He's
timed
going
it.
to shoot him with his business card?
but morally wrong and flat out stupid. I don't even know what the security is doing at Grease Ridge Mall, but it's a big fat freaking failure.
They always drive
Right?
around
That's
the mall with that
FFF.
pickup
It's,
truck.
it's a big fat friggin'.
Failure.
Failure.
We got 4 Fs now.
You know what else is a big fat friggin' failure?
The New York
glad
State
there's a
parole
nice little
system. See, I
There
didn't
we
even know
go.
this is where you were going.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm good.
So 1962. Were any of us around in 1962?
I
Austin?
wasn't.
Austin?
Yeah, I remember 62.
I'm,
Where were
I'm
you in
the-
62?
It was a good year when
I'm
62.
the oldest person I know, and I don't even remember 1962.
So this is a horrible story. I had not heard the story before today, before I learned that the oldest New York State inmate is getting paroled
Of course.
after he strangled and raped a 14-year-old girl in September of 1962. She's from Rochester.
How
There
the
she
hell
is.
did this guy live in prison for 60-something years?
59 years, as a matter of fact. The oldest.
Bet he
prison
can whistle
inmate.
Dixie out of his asshole.
I bet he can. That's Pamela Moss. She's 14. She grew up on
Right.
Sawmill Drive, right? Sawmill Drive in Penfield.
It's a good thing the show's almost over.
And he is a former Webster landscaper. And on September 6th of 1962,
Don't we have an advertiser that's a Webster landscaper?
this little 14-year-old girl was
Aw.
on Panorama Trail back in the woods. And she was
Around Quake Creek.
walking along the creek. And this landscaper saw her, followed her, strangled her, and then raped her after she was dead. Right? He was 29 at the time
How
of
is
his
this
conviction.
guy still alive?
Um,
Seriously.
James Moore had tried several times for parole, and our New York State Parole Board, because they're aces, you know, they believe everyone should get a second chance, including a guy
A
who
second chance to
strangles-
murder, of course.
and, of course,
is what they believe in.
what happened at the time was James Moore was spared the death penalty because apparently in 1962, the state of New York had the death penalty. There was a deal on the table that he was going to get the death penalty. He was spared the death penalty because the parents of Pamela Moss agreed to allow him to plead guilty to murder with the condition
life without parole.
that he never, ever be paroled. State law changed all that in 1970 and ruled that if you're serving life without parole, that you get a chance for parole after 20 years. What the hell?
I mean, that
all
makes
right.
sense. Of course, life without parole means life with the possibility of parole, right? That's what without parole means, right?
I don't know.
Of course.
But he was in prison for 59 years. James Moore,
He served his time.
at the time he was arrested, admitted to sexually assaulting 17 other girls in the Rochester area, including the rape of a 9-year-old behind a playground at Cobbs Hill.
But you know why people like you, Kimberly, don't want him out?
Who's going to take care of this old bastard?
It's because you're racist.
Well,
Are they going
there
to
he
allow
is.
him to take his penis with him?
There he is. He is.
Jesus.
He's 88 years old. There he is. He has been incarcerated. He's at Coxsackie prison right now.
What the
No
heck?
pun intended.
He'll be released in
Excuse me?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. This man, who is 88 years old, will be released on the streets.
Does he know anybody that's out that's alive?
It would be a shame if something happened to him the second his foot hit the pavement as a free man. It would be a shame.
You've been in prison for 59 years.
Does he
The
even
world-
know one person that's alive?
That's a good
How
point.
the world? Who is going? There he was at 20. How are you gonna?
Yeah, they didn't. Did they have cell phones when he went to jail? You know that scene in the
They
movie?
had party lines when he went to jail. Do you know what a party line
Right.
is?
I
Yes.
do, yeah.
You know what? They had payphones,
Did they have podcast studios?
and payphones were a nickel,
And that was
Honestly.
expensive.
and that was expensive for a payphone.
Do you,
They still had outhouses in 1962. For God's sakes,
do you remember the scene at the end of Shawshank Redemption where
get busy living or get busy
the
dying.
old man, the old white guy gets out?
Whatever. What was his
And he
name?
go-
Something was here.
The
He
one,
wrote on.
yeah, the one that had the pigeon or the bird that
Yeah,
came to
yeah.
visit him, the crow that came to visit him in
Yes,
prison.
the old guy.
And he starts
He was
walking the
head of the
street.
library.
Yeah, and he doesn't even know how to handle the traffic, because he's just not used to the cars on the road
Because he went to prison when there were
before there were cars. Yeah.
horses and
Yeah.
buggies. Right.
So to your point and to Tom's point,
Who's going to take care of this jackass?
yeah, he has no idea what he's getting himself into.
Who's he
stepping-
going to live with?
I heard he's been married for 30 years somehow.
Well, you know where he's headed, right?
Ew.
He got married in prison from somebody
Is that
outside.
which?
I think I
is that-
heard that somewhere.
Is that true?
I don't know.
To somebody from Brighton.
Maybe.
You know where he's headed, right? He's
He's
headed
headed to-
straight to Brighton.
He's headed because that's where all murdering sons
they're
of bitches go.
they're a
They go to
welcoming-
Brighton,
Yeah, they're a welcoming community.
and then there are certain people in Brighton who will support them and take them out to dinner and make sure they have speaking engagements in Brockport. Maybe you might know who I'm talking about. Maybe you don't know who I'm talking
Do
about.
they have names with 4 letters in them?
I don't even know.
I don't know
There-
either.
There are assholes in Brighton that will take care of people like him.
Yeah.
People like him who rape and kill little 14-year-old girls walking along a trail on a bright sunny September day. And again, the agreement the parents
Everyone in this
made.
room, we all have daughters, don't we?
Oh my God, I don't
Sorry,
even know what I
Austin.
do. And of course, the
All good.
parents are dead, right? But I do believe that Pamela Moss had siblings, but they made a deal with the parents. But I guess it's like, any deal can be broken, right?
Well, the parents made a deal with the devil, New York State.
It's so sad,
New York
isn't
State's
it?
the devil.
It's so sad.
How many millions?
Vaccine Hochul.
How many millions did New York State pay to have this guy in prison for 60 years?
A lot.
Think about that.
Morally wrong and flat out stupid.
Yeah, he just needs a second chance.
Someone should have shot him in the head before he ever got into the prison system. Yeah, I said it. There's no redeeming quality about this man.
Actually, no, she didn't say that. You guys just heard that.
He shouldn't be able to breathe life outside. Right? He shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
They should just let him rot
They shouldn't
and
even.
die.
He shouldn't even be allowed out in the courtyard at the prison.
I mean, it's just sick and wrong. And that's why we named the show today.
We literally
named the
have
show.
Some of our local politicians and whatnot. They've released recently. They've publicized recently all of. In fact, I think Sandra Dorley put out a press release just in the last 48 hours documenting all of the current and recent murder arrests that have occurred and how many of them,
5 out of 13.
the large
Police.
percentage of them that were just recently paroled.
Yeah.
And here we are. And we're going to release another one.
Yeah.
We're going to release somebody that is a absolute predatory monster
Yeah.
on young females,
Yes.
right?
And don't think at 88, he's
Hopefully
still
he
not
doesn't
got
move.
that violent streak in him.
Hopefully he doesn't move very fast anymore.
You can't tell me that he doesn't have that violent streak in him, because
Sickening.
I'm
He's
here
been
to
working out in the yard for 60 years.
I'm here to say that he probably does. You have a picture of Hochul. Speaking of Hochul, where is she without a mask?
In a hospital.
Without a mask.
Of course.
Okay, so
Do as I say.
when she's in the maternity ward.
There she is with her granddaughter who, you know what? I wonder if she wants that little baby there, that sweet little innocent baby who is, yet to have been jabbed with 1,000 vaccines. I wonder how quickly she wants that baby to get the COVID vaccine and have a KN95 mask slapped over its face and be taught critical race theory. I wonder if that's what she wants for her granddaughter, that piece of shit Hochul,
Right?
right?
So there she is.
And
What
they
a-
even
what a
spell
piece of shit.
Sophia the wrong way.
When I
It's a
take
PH. What's wrong with you?
when I take my mother to the doctor, I have to wear a mask from the time I walk through the doors all the way down the hallway to my mother's geriatric doctor. We have to sit in the waiting room with the mask on.
Yep.
Then we go into the patient room. We have to also wear a mask.
And there's the chairs that say, do not sit here.
Do not sit here.
Because
When-
that chair's been infected with COVID.
When I take my mother to get her labs, from the time we walk into the lab where they draw blood, we have to wear a mask. But our governor can walk into the maternity ward of whatever hospital that is and not wear a mask.
And you know what the kicker is?
And not wear a mask.
And guess what? It was
There you
only
go.
a few short days later. It was only a few short days later that she supposedly tested positive for COVID. And now she's isolating, even though she's been vaccinated twice, boosted
It
twice.
so worked, didn't it? All
But she
that
has to be
stuff.
isolated? Why does she have to isolate?
Crazy. I want to leave you. And
gonna
of
leave
course,
me?
we
I hate when women say that.
We thank all of our patriots for watching Kimberly's
Shocker.
Revolution and the We the People Podcast Network. And of course, we thank all of our
don't you hate when women
sponsors.
say that to you?
We thank all of our
All the
sponsors.
time.
I want to leave you with this little TikTok that I thought was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny, and I think we all should take a little something from it
I think
And-
she's telling us we have to laugh, Tom.
and learn from it and go forward
I laugh at
with,
everything
with
she
this
says, Chad.
sort of idea in our head. And let's play the TikTok.
Let's go for it.
Are you a grown adult?
Yeah.
And people are doing things you don't like?
Yeah.
Introducing Minding Your Own Business.
What's that?
Minding your own business is an interesting concept where you worry about yourself and let other people do what's best for them.
How does it work?
It's simple. Ask yourself if someone's personal decision affects you or anyone else. If it doesn't, shut the f up and mind your own business. Repeat as necessary.
I'd love another example.
Okay.
They should not be allowed to do that. Hey, you know what? It's really none of my business.
I was going to give my thoughts on how people should live their lives based on my specific viewpoint, but then I remembered to mind my own business. So I did, and everyone else is better because of it. Try it today. Are you a grown adult?
Try it today. And that's how
awesome.
we're going to leave you
Mind
with
your
Kimberly's
own
Revolution.
business.
Morally wrong and flat out stupid. And of course, as our Just Tom always says,
Mind your own business.
Attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.